The journey of Steve Perry from the classic and historic band Journey has always inspired the youth to do something big if they meant to live a life. But, like every other band, this band too suffered challenges in its way, making it evident that every legendary music band would break one day due to this one member of the group who would always create a mess. But don't you think that sometimes it's not the band, but the person who leaves the band suffers the most? And it's all because of the head of the bandmates? Well, don't get shocked. And get ready, because in this video, we will disclose the shocking truth that Neal Schon reveals about Steve Perry. The Journey's famous voice, Steve Perry, left the band in 1996, leaving a question on the band's unity. Moreover, things worsened when, in an interview with GQ magazine in 2008, Perry exposed his struggles with feeling like a stranger in the band, especially with co-founder Neal Schon. After this surprising move by Perry, Schon backfired, disagreeing with Perry's claims to the band's revenues. He further expressed his frustration with Perry's assumption that the band spoke ill of him, saying, "He just moans and whines about everything. He thinks we're hanging on to his coattails." Well, this was just a short premiere of this shocking tragedy. Let's see who Steve Perry is, and what happened behind the scenes that led to this battle between Perry and Schon. Steve Perry, who was the famous voice of his band Journey, has been a mysterious figure in the classic rock scene for decades. Until now, his charisma has amazed his fans. Perry's childhood was really disturbing. However, his emotional attachment to his hometown of Hanford, California, has always been a source of encouragement for his music. Melodies and tunes started to provide a soothing comfort to this young, broken child whose parents had divorced, leaving the child alone after this tragic incident, which gave him a deep wound. The little boy became almost emotionally invisible. He went on to find refuge in his grandparents' garage, where he discovered a golden opportunity waiting to bloom and flourish in his future. Time flew, and the boy entered his teenage years. It was the prime time when Perry's love for music deepened. In one of their interviews, he still remembers listening to Sam Cooke's Cupid on his mother's car radio, which ignited his desire to become a singer. However, dreams apart, his early 20s were filled with financial and emotional traumas. His first band, Ice, disbanded due to a lack of management and identification, giving him yet another heartbreak. Bad times surrounded the boy, and the wound of continuous rejection made him more steady and determined. Perry's patience was tested again when his next band, Pieces, failed to secure a record deal. Moreover, he even faced a rejection while auditioning for Captain Beyond. Further adding to his trauma, the terrible death of his bassist Richard Michaels in a car accident left Perry on the edge of giving up on being a musician. After traveling from a deep black tunnel, Perry's train stopped at a point where ideal chances were anxiously waiting for him. While Perry was suffering from a rejection and denial stage, his mother broke the news about Journey's proposal to him. But, frightened of his bad luck, he denied it. Nevertheless, at his mother's urging, Perry finally answered a call from Journey's manager, Walter "Herbie" Herbert, and the rest became history. However, little was Perry aware of the fact that his journey with Journey would be known by internal conflicts, particularly with co-founder Neal Schon, who had some revelations to make about him. Steve Perry's arrival in Journey is written to be a new era in the history of rock and pop music culture. His pop-influenced style flickered an exciting debate among his spectators. Still, he won fans over with hits like Lights and Open Arms. Apart from this, Perry's powerful voice dominated 9 Journey albums, including the chart-topping Escape. He went on to explore solo projects, releasing Street Talk in 1984, which featured the hit single Oh Sherry. But amidst success, Perry faced personal tragedy. His mother's illness and eventual demise hurt him, affecting Journey's recording sessions. With this, scrimmages started to spark between Perry and Neal Schon, which resulted in a distressing shock for the audience. Hence, in 1987, the rock and pop world was knocked for six when Steve Perry, the voice that carried Journey to new heights of fame, chose to part ways with the band. This upsetting news left fans and the industry alike in disbelief, wondering why such a departure had to happen. With this, another thought-provoking question was raised. Was it the pressure of fame or something more personal that led Steve to make such a devastating decision? Well, Perry didn't make this decision in one night, but it took him a great deal of days to take such a step. After this, the singer decided to re-enter the industry to be a solo artist, but fate again betrayed him and left him to suffer alone. The man who had once controlled large crowds again found himself struggling to search for his place in a changing musical landscape. By the mid-90s, a dim ray of hope emerged when Perry looked forward to reuniting with his bandmates for this upcoming tour. But fate was again cruel to him, and Perry had to go through hip ailment surgery. Hence, he couldn't join Journey for that tour. As a result, the band members even began hunting for a new vocalist, which proved to be a move that felt like a betrayal to the man who had given them so much to that once unknown band. Apart from the Journey's betrayal, Perry still begged their pardon to wait and to reconsider. But the ball was out of the court, and Journey was confident to carry on without him. "Proceed as you see fit," he expressed to them with a heavy heart, "but don't call it Journey if you shatter the stone. I may never find my way back." Despite his plea, the band managed to enroll a new singer and began on their tour without him. Due to this, Perry's dream of a return was left in the dust. After leaving Journey, he stepped back from public life and tried his luck with a solo career. Further, he was backed by his loyal fans who hoped for success, but those dreams, too, were short-lived. He not only struggled with his career, but his personal life also became a battlefield of its own. In one of his personal blogs, Fan Asylum, Perry shared a heartbreaking revelation. He recalled a routine checkup that led to the discovery of a mole, which turned out to be melanoma. This news somehow spread among his fans on June 6, 2013, leaving them shocked. The exact stage of his cancer was unclear. Still, Perry had to undergo 2 surgeries in just 2 weeks to remove the malignant cells. He was told the cancer had been completely removed, sparing him from further treatment. Although Perry's message in 2013 carried a note of optimism about his own battle with cancer, it also hinted at another tragedy, which was the illness that had claimed his beloved partner. This was a significant loss for Steve Perry because Kelly Nash was the woman who became his support in dark times. Sadly, she only got a few months to enjoy with Steve after a brief break from breast cancer because 8 months later, the disease returned violently, spreading to her lungs and bones. Unfortunately, Nash had to face her illness with a lot of courage and strength. She suffered countless treatments, fighting with everything she had. Yet, no matter how hard she battled, the illness began to take away her breaths, endangering her life. Hence, on December 14, 2012, after fighting a long battle with cancer, Nash passed away, leaving Perry to deal with the intense pain of losing the woman he loved. In the wake of her death, Perry found himself drowning in a sea of grief. For Steve Perry, his life journey was one of terrible consideration of his past. However, after all this, he departed on a journey to find peace in a world that had taken so much from him. Drenched in grief, a glimmer of hope again sparkled for Steve Perry. It was a hope that called him back to music. He felt as if life was blessing him with another chance. Hence, driven by a need to heal, Perry began a journey of rediscovery for melodies that had long been silent. Music, once a source of joy, now became his lifeline. With time, he started to find comfort in the notes and chords, reviving the creative fire within him that had once burned so brightly within him. Therefore, this passion and hunger to express his pain and sorrow led to the creation of Traces. Well, this album wasn't just music. It was a memory of years spent in grief and being overshadowed. With careful thought and strength of mind, Perry poured his heart into each song, making Traces not just an album, but a piece of his soul. Now, only one question has taken over his mind and thoughts. Will he be able to step into the music industry again? Will success knock on his door again? Will he be able to publicly restore his long-lost image? Despite the brilliance of his work, Perry had to face the harsh truth that fame is fleeting and the music industry is unforgiving. While his former bandmates found success in their solo careers, Perry's path was overfilled with obstacles. "I stopped singing during those years," he confessed to Rolling Stone, his voice heavy with regret. "The music left me, and I was lost in a sea of grief." After all this, his return to the stage became a turning point in his life, and he felt grateful for fulfilling the last will of his heavenly girlfriend, that one day Perry would sing again, and the stadium full of people would chant for him. Years passed, and the wounds only got worse. However, in 2017, he made an exceptional appearance at Journey's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017. Still, the stage that had once been his second home was now a place he could barely recognize. The years of pain and betrayal had hugely changed him, and the spirit that once burned so brightly faded. Moreover, after leaving the band, Perry sidelined himself from the limelight. "I stopped singing," he confessed to Rolling Stone. "I stopped writing music. I must have gained 50 or 60 pounds. I got a rugged haircut, and I just faded away." A dream that he lived with an open heart faded in the aftermath, making him unsure of how to reclaim his legal rights from the bandmates. Further, in the 90s, Perry briefly returned to Journey, but the charm was gone. Despite his best efforts, the bond that had once held the band together had been badly fractured. By 1995, Perry had made his final departure from Journey and had never turned back with the hope of a reunion. Further stepping in the direction to regain his long-lost reputation, on August 15, 2018, Perry made his long-awaited return with the release of No Erasing, his first new song in 2 decades. The song, drenched in Steve's struggles and grievances, was a tribute to lost love. However, even in its sadness, it hid the hint of hope and a gesture that, no matter how dark the days are, the human spirit can find the light again. Traces wasn't just an album. It was a promise kept, a vow made to his late love, Kelly Nash, in the twilight of her battle with cancer. Though the music industry moved on arrogantly, forgetting all the services that Steve had paid to it, and critics like Howard Stern were quick to dismiss Perry's solo work, he still found peace in the memory of Nash. Kelly's influence reached far beyond their time together and helped him to view the more profound meaning of his own music. For Perry, songs like Don't Stop Believin' took on new significance, becoming symbols of hope and strength in the face of life's most challenging moments. However, in the end, he realized that his work wouldn't be defined by chart-topping hits, but by the lives of those whom his music had touched. Apart from this, Steve took another step and paid tribute to Eddie Van Halen. Just imagine the electrifying fusion of Eddie Van Halen's groundbreaking guitar skills with Steve Perry's golden voice. It almost happened. Back in 1985, after David Lee Roth left Van Halen, Eddie reached out, suggesting a meetup with Perry. It wasn't just a casual chat. It was the possible trigger for a musical partnership that could have redefined rock. But this all became history. And now, in a heartfelt tribute to Eddie during a Rolling Stone interview, Perry hinted at what could have been done to revive and pay a memoir to this great legend. Furthermore, in this interview, Perry recalled those uncertain days when he lived in the Bay Area, and he was not even sure about his next move. At that time, Eddie's invitation wasn't a formal audition or just an idea. It may be that they could hang out, or it may happen that they both even make music together. The thought alone thrilled Perry, and he had always held Eddie's talent in the highest regard. The possibility of collaborating always excited him. Moreover, they imagined what they could achieve together, dreaming of new musical heights. But as days passed, doubt began to creep in. Perry started to wonder if he could truly capture the spirit of the David Lee Roth era with his voice. The weight of that thought was heavy, and before long, Steve felt another betrayal when Sammy Hagar stepped in, seamlessly fitting into Van Halen's evolving sound. Still, Steve Perry stands firm amidst the chaos, refusing to reunite with Journey. Fans longing for a comeback might be left disheartened because Perry had clearly stated, "I left the group 31 years ago with my friend. It's possible to love someone without working with them again." After all the heartbreaks, Steve finally found the right time to fight for his legal rights and benefits, which were subdued on the Journey. This news splashed across the headlines. Further worsening the situation, Perry clashed with his former bandmates over a business move, leading him to file a legal petition in 2022 against Journey members Neal Schon and Jonathan Cain. Perry argued that their trademark move violated an old agreement that required unanimous consent from all partners. The songs in question included classics like Open Arms, Wheel in the Sky, and Don't Stop Believin'. Yet, in a surprising move, Perry dropped the lawsuit earlier in the year, 2022, hinting at the possibility of mending old wounds. When Perry went on to fight his legal battle, Neal Schon also revealed shocking truth about Steve Perry. In an interview, he mentioned how they were slowly rebuilding their friendship, though a musical reunion seemed doubtful. With this, the rumors about Perry's potential return for Journey's 50th anniversary swirled in the air, making the fans' hearts flutter with anticipation. However, Perry remained steadfast, weighed down by the scars of past conflicts, and busted all these rumors. "I wouldn't go back unless I could be completely honest about the music," he admitted. While fans hoped for a reunion, Perry's reluctance cast a shadow over their dreams. Further moving towards his success, in 2022, he brought joy to his listeners with the release of original holiday music, showing that his lust for songwriting stayed as strong as ever. "I felt compelled to craft my own Christmas anthem," Perry shared, boasting over the creation of Maybe This Year with Dallas Cruz. The song beautifully captures the complex emotions of the holiday season with joy, sadness, and everything in between. For Perry, these feelings serve to be an emotional reminder of time passing, with a fast pace and a deep gratitude for the moments shared during the festive season. Alongside Maybe This Year, Perry also honored one of his favorite artists, Donny Hathaway, with a heartfelt rendition of This Christmas. Both songs held deep meaning for Perry, who dedicated them to his friend Lamont Dozier. Yet, despite these musical happenings, Perry's path since leaving Journey has been filled with challenges. Though Perry has turned away from certain opportunities, he still finds comfort in the love and admiration of his fans. Looking back on his life, he carries no regrets. The pursuit of music has brought him immeasurable joy and fulfillment. It wasn't easy for Perry to rediscover his voice after years of silence. Stripped of music's presence in his life, he went on a journey of self-discovery, slowly rekindling his creative spark within the limits of his private world. Unlike the younger Perry, who celebrated his spotlight, the older, wiser Perry, to this day, embraces the chance to share his story. His willingness to speak openly about his personal and artistic struggles always discloses the depth of his growth over the years. Despite his long absence from the music scene, his timeless artistry continues to echo with fans. His songs, like cherished treasures, transcend the boundaries of time, proving the everlasting power of his talent. Even if I listen to Perry's music today, I can feel the struggles in his voice and admire the sincerity of his work. Moreover, his ability to play with emotions through his songs is genuinely remarkable. Moreover, after all these years, his music holds a special place in the hearts of many people who still value his services to the music industry. I'm looking forward to meeting you in another video with more exciting stories. In the meantime, remember to comment in the comment section and subscribe to my channel for more related content.